organization and so many. But for services, you don't need anybody's approval to be able to market. You know what? Then there's a group that I belong to on WhatsApp. And anything, even if you are looking for house help, they will sell it for you there. There's nothing they don't sell on the group. You just look at it, who is selling what. And then how they blacklist people who don't deliver. Then you see it. So you can set up your own market on your phone and say, this is what I am doing, this is what I'm selling, send us your address, we deliver to you. And you don't need to be the one to go there. And then you call the dispatch people, let them go and deliver, they deliver, and everybody is happy. And at the end of the day, you will be surprised. Your clients are no longer on the street, they are online. Meet them online, and then be able to deliver the services to them. Whatever you promise, deliver them. And the stocking, you are not the one to stock. The shops are already stocking for you. All you need is to create opportunity where the buyer will meet the seller, and you will be the one to midwife the relationship, and your business will go on very fine. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. I have one question and Jefferson.
Ẹ̀yin Olúwa lógo. Èmi náà ní question fún àwọn daddy àti fún àwọn mommy. However, before I will do that, I want to apologize once again for coming late because of some other assignment I was given, office work and so on and so forth. And at the same time, I want to use this opportunity to extend the greetings of the chairman on the Kamaki. Pé ní ọdún àyẹ̀wòkún fún nǹkan tó ń ṣe dẹ̀ ní dísírìtì kàdìdìbọ́lá àwọn obìnrin rere fún nǹkan tó pọ́n gbé ṣe Ọlọ́run ló máa yọ̀ wá ìrànlọ́wọ́ lọ́rọ̀. And at the same time láti gbọ́lá àwọn dáàdì wa pé ẹ ṣe gan gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ọmọ mi wá ṣe sọ opportunity náà ní bí o fún àwọn dáàdì àti pé wọ́n wà ní àárín wa. And a fi dúpọ́ lọ́wọ́ náà pé ọmọ fi àwọn sílẹ̀ pé ẹ bá mọ nǹkan táwọn dáàdì wa ń ṣe. Ní this week mo ṣì rí wọn nínú TV tí wọ́n address on the problem of the country ní NTA. Not only that, tẹ́ bá lọ sí gbogbo àwọn international organizations, tẹ́ bá wo nínú Facebook wọn ẹ máa rí he travels a lot. So àwọn tá a jẹ́ oní nǹkan ẹ yẹ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, ẹ̀yin Olúwa lógo. Dádì ẹ ṣé gan sa Ọlọ́run lójú ma yóò máa yọ̀ yín lọ́wọ́. Àwọn dádì wa ti sọ pé àwọn ọkùnrin náà kan aṣe kíni a need yín. Àwọn dáàdì a ṣe fún youth, wọ́n ti ṣe fún Shilo, wọ́n ti wá ṣe fún women, the main church. I need yín àti the main church and the men, because ọkùnrin ó ṣe kíni a need irú nǹkan báyìí, empowerment. Wọ́n ní tani olórílé, ọkùnrin ni olórílé. And nǹkan tá a máa fi jẹ́ olórílé, we must have other sources of what? Of income. And that one will take me to advise everybody now. Please, if you are a salary earner, don't depend on your salary. Your salary can take you nowhere. And that is why this empowerment is what? Very, very important. Láti wo bikini, nǹkan tẹ́pà lè ṣe, tẹ́pà máa ṣe kíni, a máa ní more and more and more sources of what? Of income. Daddy, then consider ẹ ṣé gan sir. Lórí nǹkan tí mo sọ yẹn sir, ọ̀sán nǹkan lórí sick the pé tàbá ní activities of the church. I want to mention one or two things on that particular one. Yes, and that is so we must not be lazy. And to be lazy could rí nǹkan kan. However, the Bible still stand. And mommy read so there's what is called seek the kingdom of God first and his righteousness, and every other thing what shall be added. It still stands. I can assure you. And I will give you one or two examples also in the Bible. Elisha àti the Shunammite woman. Ó ṣe kíni, ó ní kọ́kọ́ ṣe ti òun náà. Ìgbà tó ṣe ti Ọlọ́run kan kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? For 3 good years, she never lack. However, tó bá yẹ pé ṣiṣẹ́ mi mo fẹ́ ṣe mi ò ṣe ti Ọlọ́run o, kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀? Á jẹ́ á kú, but ó ṣe kíni, ó kọ́kọ́ ṣe ti Ọlọ́run náà. And this is where I'm going, please. We are not saying you should have you should come to church on Monday, Tuesday when you don't have time for your what? For your own office work. If you don't work, you will not eat. And I will give you another example. Baba Ayegusi. However, only church, we will never leave what? That assignment, because that is what God has given him what? To do. Only time about jáde lọ ṣiṣẹ́ Olúwa tán. Wípé time about ma fi dé ṣọ́ọ̀bù àwọn padà ẹ má wá wo ṣíkíní èrò Okay, mama wole ni, mama wole. I can just try it. When you do the work of God first, when any change church as a band secretary or something take place in church, ẹ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn. Tẹ́ bá ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn tán, ẹ wá pàṣẹ kíni, ẹ padà lọ sí ìdíṣẹ́ yín. But often any church ní church, ó ní o ṣe ti iṣẹ́ yẹn náà, ó lọ ṣe iṣẹ́ mi. Ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, just try it. I've tried it. I've done the work of God, and God is what? Showing me what? Different sign. Hey, please, don't come to church on Monday, Tuesday, every time, you leave your work. What is God going to work? Going to bless. Have an assignment, and you never see me on Wednesday, Shishilo. I will never come because I have what? Office assignment. If I don't do it, they will sack me because I have to deliver what to my boss. Minister needs data. I must do that one. But when I'm free. I can what? Come and do Shiloh service. So I hope I'm communicating. Am I communicating? Please, when the assignment given to you by God to do that one, and then go back to what? Your office work or your business. God will empower you, and you send what? Help to you. Inú ẹ̀ náà gbàgbà bàbá ṣe sọ pé ibi táwọn àwọn ọlọ́gbàdúrà fún ẹni tẹ́ pé ojú ẹ̀ kò ríran. Ó ní gbàtà àwọn ṣetán táwọn padà síbi iṣẹ́ wọn náà ṣe pé tó ṣe kọ́ báyìí ojú àwọn ṣe kíni ojú àwọn náà clear so that the sign and wonders one may see. Now nǹkan question tí wọ́n fẹ́ bèèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn dáàdi òun ni sá. Ní last week I have an assignment to do in my house, and it involves calling somebody to come and do it for me. And by the time it's a plumbing work which also applies can apply to business. Wọ́n ní ọjọ́ pé èlò ni ma bá mi ṣe kíní only 4,000 naira ni o mo this soap just 1 or 2 rubber to mara only 4,000 naira ni ma dey fẹ́ complete one is going to cost me 8,000 naira no problem, let us go together. Only òun ló mú wa lọ rà when I mi jẹ́ pé I will go and buy it. I don't have to follow him and this is a problem. Okay, no problem. I now went to the place to buy it. Nǹkan tó pè fún mi ní 4,000 naira. It was just 200 naira. To pay for me 8,000 naira. It was 2,700 naira. I was able at the end. I did everything. I was able to save 10,700 naira. That's a bit more than yes, sir. Should we leave everything after a business? Because we don't have to do it alone. We have to involve some other people. Can we leave everything to other people to do? Won't they dupe us? Nínú country take where ní irú ìsìn. Kẹ́kẹ́ bọ̀bọ́ yìí will have duped me almost 10,000 and 700 if I have not gone to the market to do my market survey. Conscious from first unit. Báwo lè ṣe lè help wa? Tẹ́ pé ní first àwọn ṣe pé ọmọ máa dé ní business wa. Then the second one tí wọ́n fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ àtẹ̀yìn náà àti àwọn daddy àwọn mọ́mì ó ní support. Ní last month there was an advertisement tẹ́ pé wọ́n post theory platform WhatsApp and we saw it. They are giving 50 million naira to what? Grants that will not pay back to women association. By the time we posted this thing on the platform, somebody gave a wrong impression. They only damping image àwọn members. However, the Bible got to share within some few months or year back. Even the first lady was giving 50,000 naira to women. That empower one. Initially, I thought it was it was false. However, I saw it this week. Take away on show go pushing for 50,000 naira, which is another opportunity that income that support that business bit more non sir at more because we couldn't get it in this church. We have our women food registered with with Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. We can go there. They can also help us in everything that the government is doing. It's an opportunity for this church because we have been registered, fully registered, and we have the certificate. And this 50 million naira, if you have taken necessary steps, although it came late, 3 days to close. That was otherwise we will have maybe benefited from this 50 million naira. If we are giving 50 million naira, am I right in this? Am I right? Am I not? At least the total package the total package is 50 million, and then our money will be applied because we have benefited that thing through our baba Ogundipe nígbà tó ń ṣe SMIDA this HIV/AIDS at the national level of one is 13,500,000 naira láti ṣe fini láti empower àwọn obìnrin wa. So that is where I'm going. What is the purpose of grant? Can we go in for grant to help ourselves? And if there is opportunity, what can we do to help our women to do that?
Thank you very much, sir. It is very possible to get grant to support our businesses, but again, we still need to have a plan for that business. We need to be very clear what we are doing. The first example to give nípa àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ owó, it is very common. Come and inflate the prices. And that is why it is good to belong to the different groups, so that if I were the one that I want to do that plumbing job, from my phone I will get the prices. I will ask one person, how much is this, and you get. And by the time you are even talking to them, you are not going to be telling them how much is it. You are telling them, I know this thing is at this price. Go to so place, just go and pick it and come. So we need to be very knowledgeable about things, items. If not so, for example, Tebafe producing containing any price is 10,000 naira. Your cost will be very high because of inefficiencies in the procurement process. So we must be very knowledgeable about what we are doing. If not so, and we need to be honest, because that is why we are going to get referrals. Because if I run it over shit in my because there's a no. So we must be very honest in what we do and everything. Well, there was a mechanic, the Mocha story. And it all furnish what the price per party to offer. I think they have already agreed on number 250,000 naira. Eventually, but to don't also worry price and it be 70,000 naira. Oh, pada the other that oh pada you buy any. And he was up to the take the money, because in my head I've already spent the money. But because you are honest. So we need to be very honest. We need to be able to deliver. Honesty is not the best policy. It is the only policy. So when you make it your best policy, people will continue to refer to you. People will honor you. And when you keep promises, it makes your business to go on very fine. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I have a question and a comment. It may shake the table, but seeking the kingdom of God and His righteousness is not about going to church. It's actually a lifestyle. Okay? But at Parioro, let us balance these things. And that in Romileti, and that you are Baba Fake. Through the 70s, our were growing, and the 80s are they above also. When there is a conflict between your work and the church, only kind of wisdom. Don't fight your boss or skip work because one for initial is in Ishilo. If you lose that job, the church will not give you a job. Now, what is this? God judges the mind, not your outward manifestation. A lot of us were actually dishonest and insincere. A lot of us are my fish. Anytime that you actually say, but you have not gone to your boss to say, I want excuse. Because of no. Right? So if you are really intentional, to help your really want to share is to the loba oga e ma binu share le fún mi ní 1 hour kí sáré tó wá yarí pé má lọ yọ̀ǹda Ọlọ́run rí inú ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run adé ìsọ ẹlẹ́sàn yẹn but ibi tá ti ṣe òótọ́ ìyẹn ni challenge wà. Don't fight your boss because you want to come to church and say it again. See, when you challenge your boss, sometimes some bosses don't forgive. Even if you do that one and get away with it, they wait for an opportunity to deal with you. You understand? At some level, we're all bosses. We are not like them. It should have budget before you come to church and be praying. You understand? But you will suffer. Why borrow? Now, my question is this. Okay, maybe before I go to the question, let me also make a comment. Lórí pé àwa tá máa fúnyàn ní táǹtajà láwìn credit line tí wọ́n máa sọ pé wọ́n ní tó wá di wàhálà. Maybe we need to learn from the Igbo traders. You know, one shape, church is on Catholic Lotto Biju. One that one not the networks on. One shape more rato, one rato. One need to allow one need to allow their businesses still grow. One day, yota, one lotta. Understand that one. So maybe we need to go and learn from them how they do it. You understand? This is business. It is not church. It is not family. Right? Then maybe we also need to set a threshold from credit line that we must not cross. It can help for business. But before you can do that, you must also know the total value of your business. Get the pay. Any àwìn tó ń bá tábà máa fún wọn lóṣù kò gbọdọ̀ kọjá yé báyìí tẹ bá ti hit threshold yẹn ẹ má fún anybody láwìn mọ́ àfi tó ń bá sanwó wọn right mọ́mí tí san ti last month tẹ gbà wá kò yẹ ò fàjà náà lóòótọ́ ó gba last month ò san so bí ẹ̀rín ní ẹ̀rẹ́ ẹ má bínú òkè yìí ni o ti jẹ ẹran olúwa kó jẹ́ kí gbogbo òkè di pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ní wàá zòrí bábẹ́lì náà bẹ́ẹ̀ bí òkè bá di pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ business yìí náà ẹ̀ ní ba lọ́la. So yóò dẹ̀ padà wá ló wá fún lórí ọ̀fẹ́ yóò padà wá san ẹni tó bá ti ní habit ẹ máa fún kò ju yẹn lọ. Now sorry sir, is it good business practice? Torí àwọn màmá wa mo ṣe ń sọ àtàwọn dáàdi wa ta máa ń ṣe business nílé because we are talking about business practices that will ensure and assure sustainability of the business. Now èpọ̀nù wa ilé la ti ń ṣe business wa by reason of that sanwó ná sanwó omi. Kì í repo kì í ra generator àbí epo iná ò dẹ́ ń lọ dẹ̀ kí owó shop owó shop thank you that's the most critical space so now is it good business practice kéèyàn máa mọ what their cost because you must know the cost you must be able to factor cost into your costing right pé iye báyìí ló ná mi right. Because ẹni tó ń ṣe láti lé mo máa ń sọ fún àwọn sista mi náà pé kọ́lọ́ má jẹ́ àrígbà things can change and you can no longer do it from the house you have to go to the shop. The truth is that the reality will hit you. Your business has never been competitive. Your business has never been competitive. So is it not I just wanted to advise us on how to address that area. You know tabari àwọn kan fún businesses wa tó jẹ́ pé it comes at no cost. But the cost we do we reflect it in our for the product because most of us still sell at that rate that other people are selling now don't shop don't and all of that we still sell at that rate because we want to maximize intakes right so I wanted to talk about that. The other one is just a general observation. Daddy, I think I might be no I know you go on this show as you I don't know what we're doing about our business entrepreneurship unit, you know, because we have resources. You have not seen half of it, and you have not heard half of it, you know. There's no gainsaying it. Our is an international professional. We know. Now, a lot of people, so a lot of coaches, but it will seem that going forward after our we tried, we put machinery in place, we set up some frameworks, and yet they failed us. So we're there is a we'll probably come back to you for that too, sir. Now, what I found, there was a season, sir, and you were very critical to that we were able to give our members Lotto certain amounts from businesses, right? I will tell you, I think any company Lotto pada. Business not according to no. Okay, they say all the other people gave about 5 or 6 people. Nobody returned the money. Yeah, at the end of the day, till today, we're talking about 3-4 years now. Nobody has returned. This was supposed to be a loan for a tenure of 1 year. Nobody. Right? So, how to place the mechanism, that framework, that will assure that the reform, because it's supposed to be a revolving loan. It was supposed, that was what it was designed to be, but it never came back. So, it could never have revolved. So, others didn't have the opportunity. We still have some of that money warehoused in an account, but we cannot go forward I told them, no, we will not give anybody again until we are able to place a proper system, right? So we really will make it what it should be. But so our people feel a lot entitled. They feel a lot entitled. And then for business, and then you now wonder, I don't understand. You got, this person didn't even get, and you're coming back to. Then one other thing, the last thing, this is now not business, but speaks to our giving nature. There are some people that will set you on guilt trip. They will make you feel guilty for not giving. They have made it a habit. Every month they must collect. And I believe they collect not only from one, they collect from two, they collect from three. And they will inundate your life with messages. Yes. Messages and calls. Emotional messages. Every first of the month they must send you prayers. Once you sit, you know they are setting up something. A few days after, they will come with stories. So because sometimes we look at it, you know, there's a pay. Generally. So when these things come, after a week or two, you don't respond, and they keep coming. You feel like, hey, Jamie, bye. And they don't know whether you have or you don't have. But they keep bombarding you with it. How do we deal with them? I have a personal case. We have tried everything with that person. Stock shop to what why your roof? Okay, roof. Okay, Abuja will be more padà sílé, wọ́n ti ń pè mí lé, gba owó kò padà sílé. Ilé ò tún pè mí mọ́, the next thing Abuja. We come back to the same story. How do you deal with people like that?
Thank you very much. I think I will start with the last one because I can relate very well. You see, some of these things, people in the church, especially, yes.
Please, I would like to ask those who are leaving. We will soon finish. Thank
you, ma. So you see, people have in the church, people have entitlement mentality, and they always want to capitalize on other people's generosity to fund their lifestyle. It is not only here; it is in most churches. I keep on giving the example of Family Worship Center. Pastor Sarah is my student. Each time they run into this problem, she will call me in the night and say, look, how do we manage this kind of thing? I said, one way of managing this kind of situation is for the church to have a welfare fund. I know, my message is Mommy Ogbede. So, the message is apply. Láti gba owó from the welfare fund because I know ipe tí ẹ bá ti gba gbogbo yín lẹ máa rí ipe nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wá á ní ẹ má sọ fún lágbájá ẹ má sọ fún lágbájá ẹ má sọ fún lágbájá. It's always like that. Some people abuse other people's hospitality. We need to be very careful. We need to be very careful and do it with discerning spirit, especially when people operate job budget. I'm coming, I know I will see you today. I say like buy you me 50,000 naira. But tell him boy budget lad for me 50,000 naira. Owó tẹ́ fẹ́ fi repo sí mọ́tò ẹ wá kó fún mi. Tó bá dọ̀là tí èpo àsìkò mọ́tò yìí báwo lè ṣe fẹ́ explain it. So those kind of things generally happen. Then again, there is something that is called goodwill in business. Especially business àwa obìnrin. Enter oúnjẹ, ẹ fẹ́ ra gas. Wọ́n ta gas ní 12,000 naira ní Jàbí. Ẹnìkan wá sọ fún yín pé wọ́n máa ta ní 9,000 naira ní Mararaba. But torí pé ẹ̀yin kọ́ ló sọ owó epo sí mọ́tò ẹgbẹ́ mọ́tò ọkọ̀ yẹn ní kàn lọ sí Mararaba kan lọ rà wá wọ́n di fi 5,000 jó epo lọ sọ́hun láti lọ ra gas lọ́hun. We need to be able to budget for all the goodwill that come into our businesses. Many of us actually take a lot of things for granted. Owó iná, owó omi, renters and all those things. Many businesses, when you sit down with analysts and they analyze your business, many of us will discover that we are running at a loss when we think we are really actually making money. That is why most of the time, I'm a owó yẹn wọnú account, but I will read it. Owó ń gbà ń jáde, then a máa sọ pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ wípé bóyá àgbà náà ti wọ owó àgbà náà kọ̀ọ̀kan owó we just lack capacity to be able to manage the money very well and trend. Then abatawá ní àwọn òṣìṣẹ́, we need to be very careful. They will abuse the process. They will steal from the business. It is the controls that we put in that will make the business to be very difficult for them to steal. And then you must be able to pay them their wages. And when they steal from the business, punish them very well. I give you an example. One of my students that has a laundry business in Kaduna, she came to me and said she wanted to grow the business to expand. I said, this your business will not grow. I said, why? I said, there is no communication between you and your client. I said, where I send my clothes in Lagos for laundry, each time I drop my clothes, before I leave the place, if I send somebody, I get SMS alert from them. They thank me for coming. They tell me the number of clothes that are brought. They tell me how much is it, and they tell me when it will be ready. When it is ready, they send message. The very day she introduced SMS alert, she uncovered the biggest fraud that was in the business. When she came, Aji Aramatu, she said, Doctor, there's a problem. I said, what is the problem? He said, there's a problem. I said, you have not said anything. Tell me what exactly is the problem so that we know how to advise. She said she introduced the SMS alert. And the staff are very good. I said, leave the staff alone. What really happened? Tell me the story. She said one Alhaji brought cloth. And then the man, according to the man, paid 120,000 naira. But in the book of the business, they recorded 56,000. And then I said, could it be overbilling? He said, no, there is no overbilling. Have you checked? They send SMS alert. They say, thank you for bringing your cloth. We acknowledge the receipt of 56,000. Your cloth will be ready on so days. I said, no, let's check. He said, these staff are honest. I said, forget about honesty. Let us look at the facts. What they did was that you have brought your cloth for laundry, washing and ironing. But we now recorded it in the book as only ironing. We send the cloth back to our own factory to wash, collect money for washing. Then because we don't have the technology and the packaging to make it look better, we brought it into the factory and then package it. And so they were seeing money, and when you see the cost element of laundry business, the highest costed is electricity. And electricity comes in ironing. And so they are using Pure Garment Factory to do the ironing. They are using their own factory to do the washing. He said, what are we going to do now? I said, we need to ask the staff what happened. And then we need to tell them we are drawing a line. From today, this must not happen again because you can't sack all of them. And you see, there is no control that can beat collusion. When all of them agree, this is what they are going to do. I said again, you have CCTV camera. Do you review it? He said, no. I said, you see, control without monitoring, it will fail. I said, you need to withdraw, to review and say how many people came in and everything. That was how they are able to do it. So you must be able to check yourself. When you put controls in place, effective, then sanction them if it happens. Then those people who are coming to buy on credit, draw the line. Tell them, we will not sell credit. When we sell credit, for example, the woman who came and said, okay, I don't have money, blah, blah, blah. Tell them to put it into writing and sign. Is there an agreement? There's no agreement, because tomorrow I say I'm not owing you. Then for the people in the church that when you give them money, it is, I think, when I thought of it again, I think it is our system. We did not put sufficient control. Did you get back to the guarantors? No. When you have a redress mechanism and you don't revert back to it, they will abuse it. And for the people that pay back, I know Alagba is too guarantee for me when I took the money. And when I did not pay, did you report me to him? If you report me to him and then he knows that he's the one to pay, he will call me and caution me and say, go and pay this your money that you have seen. So we have seen it. It's not only here. We saw it in Lagos, in Surulere. Somebody borrowed money from the band and we said, you must pay this money. He said, if you talk to me, I won't come to church again. So we now say, okay, let us not talk to him again. Let him not run away from the church. We now say, from today, nobody must take band money and borrow anybody. We are not a community bank. And that if we want to give grant, let us give grant. So if church wants to give grant, let us give grant. If you want to give loan, let us be very clear that it is a loan. This is the process, this is the procedure. And the guarantor must be from the church and the guarantor must pay back. And then if we keep on doing that, we'll be able to empower people. It is not only here. But the one that is most structured, which I have seen, is what Family Worship Center is doing. The setup is like men fellowship. And when they want to discuss business, they know it's business they want to discuss. And when they want to do the business analysis, they don't do it themselves. They call outsiders. They know I'm not a member of their church, but they will invite me. They say, look, we want to fund this business. We want to help this man. We want to do this for him. They will now say, okay, let us test it like this. Let us test it like this. Then people will now say, okay, you know what? We are going to put our money. We are going to support your business. But you are going to promise us that you will pay back this money. Apart from paying back this money, you are going to support other people to make them grow also. That was the model which we wanted to do. And say, okay, let us help 5 people. If these 5 people decide to help two people, we will have gotten 15 people at the end of 1 year. Then gradually, people need a little push to be able to get their business done. But people abuse opportunities and privileges. But it must not stop the remaining good people to continue to support them and grow their business. What people do again is that they budget for charity. If you say, okay, every month you are going to spend 5,000 naira on charity, and you know that I have come to collect 1,000, next month I'm going to call. Then some people will even tell you, I say, Alagba, after this one, don't give me again. Then, but I know I'm coming back. They will come again. Then you keep on funding their lifestyle. Then somebody came. This one is not even in the church. Somebody came to my office, one of the people we met in the line of duty. And she told me she was looking for 70,000 naira to do something. I just look at her. I said, do you know what? How much is your telephone? I look at her. I said, this your phone is 950,000. If I were you, I'd go and sell the phone. Buy that one to 350. You don't need money. And she walked away. I said, look, let's tell ourselves the truth. You are funding unnecessary lifestyle. And you want me to be the one funding your lifestyle. I cut my coat according to my size. So we must be able to tell ourselves the truth. But people need training. They need understanding of the business they want to do. They have surplus time which they are not using very well. We must be able to create those opportunities and give them that knowledge and say, okay, this is what you want to do. This is how you want to do it. Especially in the area of services. Last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we marketed a training program in my office. A lady just came. He said, this is your program. I'm going to market it, but I'm going to increase the price. I said, that is your business. Eventually, she even got more money than those of us who are delivering the program. She marketed it and brought people. I said, that's fine. That those of you who are staff, you see, an outsider is doing this for you. So opportunities are always there. So we must be able to look at those opportunities to grow our enterprises. But beyond that, a major gap is that many people, those of us in the church, we don't know ourselves. We don't know what we do. And if we don't know ourselves, if I don't know where you work, I don't know you, I will not know where to go and beg for help. It was when I knew, I said, oh, if I call him, my problem is solved. If I call him, he will, okay, so don't worry, I'll call somebody. They will give you what you wanted. So we must know one another. That is the essence of fellowship, so that you help one another. When I have issues, I know whom to call. When people call me and said, we have this issue, we'll call somebody, they will help us. Thank you very much.
Hello. Inú mi dùn fún gbogbo nǹkan tá a gbọ́ lónìí. Mo dẹ̀ nígbàgbọ́ àti ìdánilójú pé Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ kó wúlò nínú ayé wa. Nítorí ẹ̀kọ́ kékeré tí wọ́n rọra kọ́ wa yìí, ó ní ìtumọ̀ pàtàkì. Mo mọ̀ wípé àwọn tí wọ́n ń lọ yẹn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ò tí ì fẹ́ lọ, but there is another program tí wọ́n àwọn náà tún gbọ́dọ̀ wà níbẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn information tá a gbọ́ padà. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ dádì wa, Ọlọ́run á túbọ̀ máa pọ́n yín lé sà. Ọlọ́run á dílé yín mú. Ṣe iṣẹ́ náà gbé ti kú jẹ. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ àdúrà la máa gbà fún wọn torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ń rí wọn nínú TV dáadáa. Ẹ mọ̀ wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ̀ pé irú iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ní ilé ní. Bọ̀ fún àwa kan tá a máa ń rí wọn, a mọ̀ irú iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe. Àbí tẹ́ bá rí wọn on Facebook, it's always on the Facebook. Bóyá wọ́n á share contacts wọn lórí Facebook pẹ̀lú wa, a lè máa dá sí lórí Facebook, àwa náà lè máa sọ àwọn nǹkan kan tí a bá fẹ́. ṣùgbọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí àbá ọmọdé tèmi mi bá ní ká gbà wọ́n níyànjú wípé irú wọn náà wọ́n talk tí wọ́n sọ yẹn kán sọ ìgbà tán lè ṣe fún wa tó yẹ pé wọ́n máa pè mí Mr. Ademiju kí ni challenges ẹ báwo ló ṣe kán sọ ìgbà tán lè ṣe fún wa dẹ́rù sẹ́mínà yìí kò yẹ kó jẹ́ ẹ̀kan ó yẹ ká tún sì gbé padà wá Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kó tó dìgbà yẹn Ọlọ́run á tún ti fún wọn ní okun àti pé bàbá wa special apostle Oyèlọ́lá kan bá wa fún wọn ní remarks.
Closing remark. Ẹ̀yin Olúwa lógo. Ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Jésù. Ní orúkọ Olúwa àti orúkọ alága Dakibi district lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Inú wa dùn àyẹ̀wò akún fún ẹgbẹ́ obìnrin rere for organizing this special program for all our women in order to empower them. Ní agbára Ọlọ́run, God will empower you. Ẹ̀rí bá ti ṣe, ẹ̀rọ náà gbégbà. Ẹ ràn àwọn ọkọ yín lọ́wọ́ nítorí pé ìgbà t'Ọlọ́run dá Ádámù àti Éfà ó ní Ádámù ṣe kíni ó nídìí olùrànlọ́wọ́ ní agbára Ọlọ́run ìrànlọ́wọ́ tẹ́ pé ẹjọ́ kó fọ ọkọ yín náà lóòótọ́ yóò máa gbé yín ga nínú ẹ̀mí gbogbo ẹbí yín àtijọ́ Ọlọ́run yóò máa ní ìtẹ̀síwájú ní orúkọ Jésù Olúwa wa. A tún fi àsìkò kí àwọn bàbá náà bákan náà. Daddy, we are very grateful sir for all what we are doing in this church. Tá bá fẹ́ pa àwọn dáàdi wa, we have spent a lot, not just 100,000 or 500,000 to call our daddy for this program, but he has done it freely. God Almighty will continue to enlighten you and strengthen you and bless you. We have just started though. Ibi tọ́lọ̀ máa gbé yín dé, ó ga, ọ̀nà gbé yín dé bẹ̀ ní orúkọ Jésù Olúwa wa. I just want to add one or two things to what our daddy have said concerning ìbéèrè tí àwọn ó affect wa and it touches my heart wípé àwọn youth on empower àwọn ẹnìkan they couldn't. However, in any mission, there is also another aspect that we also need to do. Follow up. Daddy, were you able to follow up? And in following up, there is what is called tracking and reporting. Quarterly report. Are you collecting it from them? Nǹkan táwọn dáàdi wa nǹkan tí bóyá nǹkan tó ṣe òun ni pé at the end ló fẹ́ rí result. However, along the line there is what is called monitoring and what and evaluation. There should be monthly. It's just a suggestion. Ẹ bá fẹ́ ṣe irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ fún nǹkan táwọn dáàdi àti advice wa. You can open up what a WhatsApp group or what Telegram group. Jẹ́ pé ọmọ máa sọ nǹkan tí wọ́n fi owó yẹn ṣe ní every ọmọ máa give report every month. Ẹ má dúró de 1 year at the end of 1 year ọ lè ti náwó síbò mi kọ́ ti ní problem kọ́ máa mọ bá yẹn kí ni wọ́n máa ṣe resolve but every month ẹ bá ṣe kékin ẹ máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn nǹkan báyìí kí ló lò fún báyìí nù ibi tó bá ti ṣe mistake ẹ ṣe kí ni ẹ sáré bring wọn back or quarterly bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá máa fi di kíní ẹ tó bá ti ṣe mistake ẹ bring back into track and at the end you be able to achieve. So that is just my own additional contribution. There should be follow up. There should be monitoring and evaluation what template tẹ́ pẹ́ máa fún wọn tẹ́ pé every month kọ́ máa yẹ kí ni kọ́ máa report nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe pé ibi tí challenges bá wà á sọ ibi tí way forward ẹ máa ṣe at the end ẹ lè get result. Ọlọ́run ló máa yóò wọ́n lọ́wọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí àgbàdúrà pé this is not the end. We will continue. And gbogbo tó wá kó wa ẹ̀jẹ̀ ọmọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká gbé sí abẹ́ carpet we have to go back home and do it. And at the same time ẹjọ́ I said it one salary or one business may not help us. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ní different what 1 or 2 or 3 ṣe pé a máa ṣe kí ni máa fi kúra wọn àti advice àwọn dájú wa fún wa àrùn wa lọ́wọ́ ní agbára Ọlọ́run máa gbé wa lọ sí òkè ni o. We shall be head and never be tail. Gbogbo business wa náà lódì máa yóò bless ẹ because God want to bless the work of our hand and we must not what be lazy and the work will bless the work of your hand in Jesus mighty name. Amama jẹ́rú ni àkìyó jẹ́rú ní orúkọ Jésù Olúwa wa. Dàgbà láti máa padà wá we want to see all your businesses in high and God will do that in Jesus mighty name. Ayọ̀ ni o.
Jọ paríparí ẹ̀ àwọn dáàdi wa sọ o Whatever business you are doing, ẹ lọ register o. Ẹ wá bá wa ṣe sí ká fi orúkọ yín sílẹ̀ o. Ní ṣe lásán lórúkọ Jésù.
Oh, are very, very important because businesses were kini. It's not going to be at the lower level. Only introducing the government. Am I right? That by the register. Mommy pay give a lot of government. Government will not absorb you. Will not give you any contract without being what registered your company. And once you register, you have what more opportunities. Register. And that is kini. Only connect yín mọ́ àwọn tó máa ṣe kínní tó máa register business yín láti lọ síwájú ayọ̀ ni o.
Ẹ jọ àdúrà ìparí ìsìn. We are going back to the. Ní orúkọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ Jésù. Bàbá adúpẹ́ àyàn Olúwa wa gbọ́ ọpẹ́ wa adúpẹ́ pé a wà nínú lecture náà adúpẹ́ pé o gbàkóso adúpẹ́ pé o jẹ́ kí ìbànújẹ́ kó jẹ́ tiwa adúpẹ́ pé òye ojú òyò kò jẹ́ kó kọ́ wa adúpẹ́ fún àánú àti ìbùkún yín adúpẹ́ fún ojú rere tó fi fún wa Olúwa wa gbọ́ ọpẹ́ wa ẹ̀mí mọ́ àti ń lọ wá wákàtí àti Olúwa wa máa bá wa lọ inú oṣù Olúwa wa gbàkóso gbogbo ibi tó wà nínú oṣù Olúwa wa bá wa palẹ̀ rẹ̀ mọ́ ìbùkún àti ojúre rẹ̀ jẹjọ́ kó máa bá wa lọ àánú kó bá wa pé ìbùkún kó bá wa pé ààbò kó bá wa pé ní orúkọ Jésù bá ṣe ń lọ sílé ní orúkọ Jésù bí má jẹ́ kó bá wa Ọlọ́run ẹ̀mí mímọ́ tún fi iṣẹ́ ìsìn ọ̀la lé ọ lọ́wọ́ ní orúkọ Jésù Olúwa gbàkóso àwọn áńgẹ́lì ọ̀run tí ó wá mú iṣẹ́ ìsìn náà lọ sí ojú tẹ̀ ní orúkọ Jésù Olúwa sọ̀ wọ́n kalẹ̀ nítorí Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa. Fọ̀nà rẹ lé Olúwa lọ́wọ́ àdúrà ìdákẹ́jẹ́.